Good afternoon. Hi, Kenzie. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm very fine. Thank you. How are you?
Perfect. It's snowing, really?
No, I ask you, how are you? So,
I understood it's snowing. I just understood the last part. I'm fine as well, and looking forward to today's live session. And yeah, we see. We're going to talk about the Liberty training a little bit, and I would just say we wait a few minutes till we get some people in because we have a guest, or you have a guest of your current Liberty training here as well. And maybe she can tell a bit what her experiences is, what kind of horses she has, and so now people are coming in. Kenzie, maybe you just want to start because I think you had one live session on Monday, but we might have people today who didn't join us on Monday, and maybe you can just quickly explain a little bit what you're doing, how you do it.
yeah,
That's all.
we'll explain a little bit what's the Liberty training about, the online Liberty training. So, the online Liberty training is about, how the name already says, to train your horse in Liberty, to get to work in freedom with your horse, to know to do several tricks with your horse. Actually, if you see the videos I have on my Instagram or social media channels, there you see all the different tricks I do with my horses. And in this online training, Liberty training, you will learn every little trick I do with my horses from the beginning on. Then you will learn, like, you have one part which is the trick part, like to do all these different tricks, and then you have the part where it's more about really working your body language, working with the horse, building up this language between you and your horse, and building up this connection with your horse and the trust of your horse. And therefore you need to work with it to make normal, like, groundwork you do with the horses. And of course we focus this groundwork also this I like to say, one is horsemanship, like work with your horse, and the body language is horsemanship. And to do the tricks with your horses is this Liberty training. So it's a little bit more in Liberty. The training you do in Liberty is or Liberty dressage is when you show your horses the tricks, you show him with a special word, and you train him, and then he does. But horsemanship for me is more to move your horse with your body language, to use the body language, and to get to know how horses function, how they communicate to each other, how they behave, what do they like, what they don't like, and to get more to know more about horses, or more about your horse. Then also with the beginning of the course, we will have a part where we go into the characters, different characters of the horses, different characters of the people, how they can match to each other, or when how it could be maybe difficult to match, and what we need to be careful with, and how we can change it, how we can know a little bit how our character is, and how our character be shown to our horse, and we'll understand better why maybe our horse behaves as he behaves. So yeah, it's a little bit theoretical part, but I think it's very important just to have a bigger knowledge about horses and about our communication with horses and our language we need to have in between us. So yeah, to get a little more into the details, we have 52 videos about Liberty dressage accessible for 12 months. So the whole Liberty training is accessible for 12 months. Dressage is all this, is everything we do with the horse in Liberty. Then we have the 12 month membership premium. Our team will support you, me and the team will support you all the time. Like, you have this community, this Facebook community. You can reach us per email and through the platform. So you will not have any questions which are not answered in the community. It's actually nice because everyone inside in Facebook, and it's a closed community, and we are all learning. So we can learn from each other, we can help each other. You're maybe not alone with your problems or with you things you want to achieve, or with some exercises which are maybe hard for you, and there's maybe another horse which does exactly the same, and another person who react the same, and then you see how I corrected. So what is nice that people can share their all the videos and can make all the questions and ask all the questions, and we as a team will always answer everything, and will also correct the videos. Like when we see the videos of you working, we can say, well, look, your shoulder, or you put your foot more in front, or take put your energy more high, or be careful with your hand, or whatever we see, we can tell you. And so also other people can see that and can learn from this, and maybe next time they will put the video. And very focused on that. It's like the dynamic in the group is always positive, and
Yeah.
one helping each other. If there's one person saying like, wow, what you're doing, and being a little bit like not nice to another person which are posting something with a problem, then we will immediately stop it, because we are all there to learn. And even I learn a lot from everyone who is inside there, and you as members of the course, you have sometimes so great ideas, which I say,
Yeah.
amazing idea, I would never think about this one, but now I will just put it inside of my training too. So yeah, we are all horse people, we are all helping each other, and I think nice idea from the basic on, like when we are loving horses, it doesn't matter which country, which horse, which race, with what we do with them. If we want to have a good communication with our horse, there's only one goal we want to all have.
Yeah.
Nice to help each other. And yeah, so that's a little bit the mindset behind the Facebook group. And then we have, I go a little bit more into the details. Then we have 12 live Q&A coaching. So live Q&A coaching is a little bit this what you see now. There will be Vera and me, and we have once a month we have this live where we answer all your questions in live. We try to answer every question. There are some questions left because it's getting too long or something. We collect the questions and we do a separated Kenzie answer video. We will have also every month 12 Kenzie answer videos with some left questions, maybe from the Q&A. And if not, we will just collect all the questions inside the Facebook group to make the Kenzie answer video. So this one we will also have. Then we have this 12, also once a month, 12 times Kenzie ask Kenzie ask, where you can personally ask me in a live session like this. So it's gonna be Vera, me, and another, like one of the group, and you can ask me more or less personally, like face to face, via internet, but face to face, all your questions you have, especially for you and for your horse. So yes. Then just let me check. You will have 20 exercise lessons. With our 20 exercise lesson, you will face different challenges, and on regular basic or challenges would help you to reach our goals step by step. So this just, I have this list here for everything. It's
Yeah, that's perfect. What we will also do, Kenzie, what I can do, post the link with all the information. We just also post that in here, and
we're not get anything, so that's why
no, it sounds good. Sorry to interrupt.
and we have also the audio video. I was already forgetting it. You have also the audio files you can listen. So we will we did some audio files with the most answered questions to answer them in the audio files, and you can go like by car or having into iPod, in your iPod, on your phone, and you can listen them, or just working or whatever you're doing. You can listen to the answer, to the question and answers, to the audio files, and also like this learn a little bit more about horses and how they behave.
Perfect, great. Thank you for the first overview, Kenzie. In the meantime, before we get one of your members from the seminar in, we have a question here from Keep Heart saying, "How do you deal with people that say bad stuff about your training? I train my horses with your method, and some people say my horses are unhappy and I do a very bad job. How do you deal with that kind of people, and how do you do it to not get sad or angry when people say bad stuff about your training, or does that happen in general?"
Of course, if you're somehow in the how to say in the world, somehow people can watch you in the internet or videos or watch you on horse fairs, then then it's normal that people say that are people who say good stuff and people that say bad stuff. I try to be always very self-critical. Like, I criticize myself a lot, and I try to ask myself, am I right? Am I fair to the horse? And I always, when there's a situation and I'm training my horse and there's maybe a situation which goes a little bit, I don't know, it's not going how I expected it to go, then I try to correct something or I try to change something, and then afterwards I try to ask myself, okay, what happened? How I reacted, and was it fair? And if I have a good feeling, and if I have say, okay, I think it was a fair situation and correct, because then I afterwards we have it's gonna be like this, or the horse always understand it. If I showed him many times, still doing it, so I can, for example, and then a person says, "Oh, you shouldn't have correct the horse in this like this or something," I don't care.
Yeah, because so many people outside, yeah.
Always people who will criticize you, and you will never know if I mean, it's good to be aware of what you do, so try to always question it yourself and be aware of what you do, and try to feel happy with what you're doing, and to feel inside and ask you, am I fair? And if you feel fine, and if you think it's everything very logical what you're doing, it's gonna be fine. And if there are if there are 100 people watching you, there will always be like 5 or 10 people saying, well, it's not good, horse shouldn't do that. But then look at them, try to see what they are doing with the horses, because sometimes I'm watching the people who telling me like I'm mean to the horses, I'm punishing the horses with the whip, and I'm too hard, and the horses are not happy and they're sad and they don't want to be with me. And people can say that from the internet so fast, so fast.
Yeah.
There can be a wonderful video of someone with doing some wonderful stuff with some horses, and I can say, look, he put the ears back and he's punishing him, and he's not happy. It's so easy to write it somewhere and to put it into and to say it in the internet, and no one will check, and everyone will see it.
Yeah.
So it's just so easy to do it behind the computer. And then sometimes I check, I look at the Facebook profile from the person, and then it's a horse person, or she has only like 2 ponies and mommy, and I don't know, maybe she has some other problems. Or maybe just they don't like, and they have another mindset, so it's fine. There's so many people out there which are doing things I don't like. If I would go to everyone and say, I don't like what you do,
Yeah.
it's me. So let them be angry, let them be have this unhappy thoughts in their mind, and let them deal with you. If you feel what you're doing, just don't react. That's the only I can give to you. I never react on something where I because it's sometimes really it's like so unlogical.
Yeah. It's just jealousy, or just they don't have the knowledge, and then things like that happen everywhere in the world, everywhere on social media, basically.
And social media is the worst. Social media like it's also a little bit of the how the mode
Yeah, mood. Yeah, the mood.
no, not mood. What moda in Spanish you say moda. It's
The fashion.
fashion. It's what's the fashion now? Fashion now it's to work with horses always with I don't know with the cabeçon.
Yeah.
So and when you take something else than the cabeçon, people will say, "Oh, you're taking that. It's not good. You should do to the cabeçon." No, it's not cabeçon. 5 years later, it's the nut halter.
Yeah, halter. Yeah.
So, and then you're taking a cabeçon, and people say, "Oh, well, you're taking this cabeçon. Cabeçon is so bad, and its fit is too hard. You should not take a cabeçon." You say, oh, "Okay."
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
For me, it's I feel the horses. I feel how I work with the horses. I feel the energy, and if I have a good feeling, and if I feel that I'm fair and I'm clear with him, and I have a good communication with my horse, that doesn't matter what someone says. It will not touch me.
Perfect, great. Kenzie, before we get Kara in, one last question. What are the requirements, or are there any requirements to join the Liberty training or to be able to do Liberty training with a horse? Like in sort of age and constitution, breed, whatever.
Actually, no, I didn't put any requirements to start. The only thing is when your horse is having any disease or is getting a little bit older, then you just have to check with the vet if all the movements you are doing are fine for your horse. So that's your responsibility to be careful with your horse, to take care of your horse, and to have the knowledge if your horse has some disease or is old and maybe just has a little bit of arthrosis. And then you need to be careful with some exercises which are more jumping or some closer circles, because maybe with the legs it can be not so good for the horse. So just if the horse have something, please check it up with your vet. But in general, there are nothing more you need to bring into the course. You can start by 0, and it's really for every kind of horse breed, and try also in the course to take videos of different breeds, not only with my Lusitano ones, where you say, okay, Lusitano, she has a Lusitano, of course they move this
Yeah.
nice, and yeah, of course they move nice and they look always nice. That's true, but you can also do it with different horses. They will maybe not make the waltz like this pirouette really beautiful, but they make also a pirouette. And but in their way. And so that's why we took different breed of horses,
Yeah.
what had there or found. Because there were some horses I never trained before, and it was just seeing it for first time before the course and before we started to film the course. And yeah, it's very interesting. You can do it with every kind of horses, with every breed, and age, of course. Check the vet if there's fine of them for the movements, and I think I haven't forgot anything more. And as a person, you should just if you're completely beginner, it's gonna be you can start, but it's gonna be of course a harder start. Will take longer. You will have to take long for the first steps, and it's gonna be it's gonna be intense for you, but still it's gonna be good. You cannot run so fast maybe as some others who are already many years with the horses. So that's just that you are aware that you take the steps a little bit longer, a little bit slower, and but it will go forward. There is no doubt.
Perfect, great. And question, two questions. So I take one question a bit more in general. How many times a week or how often do you practice? So special lessons, but also in general to achieve a result.
Well, you cannot ask me how many times I do it, because I'm working with horses every day. At, least I'm not somewhere traveling. But if I'm not traveling, I'm nearly every day with them. But and of course, as more often you go and train your horse. As more days in the week you train, as faster you will get some results. But it's also fine if you go like 3 times a week or something. I mean, if you go 2 times, also okay, but then you will have very slow results, and you will need time to get your horse again into the training, and to get your horse at each time you go, to make him to be concentrated, and to make him to remember what you have done the last time, because you only came 2 times a week. But if you come 3 or 4 times a week, it's also very good. If you can make it for 5 times, it's gonna be amazing.
Perfect, great. Now, Kenzie, I would like to bring Kara in for a few minutes. She also recently joined the training, and I think she also has some questions, and maybe can also tell a little bit. So I just bring her up, and
Hello.
hi.
Hi.
Hello, great to have you here. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kara.
Nice to meet you, Kara.
Nice to meet you too. Yes, I've been in the Liberty training course for a few months now, and I have a horse named Nakona, and that's a Native American name, which means to wander. And he's an American paint horse. So he's all white, and he has a few brown, large brown spots on him. And he's 16 years old, and he's a dressage horse. And I do dressage. And so it's really an interesting experience to get to do Liberty dressage and to not ride him, but be working on the ground. So I just started working with him a few weeks ago, and so I'm starting over with module 1.
Nice, but for a dressage horse, it's gonna be easy to learn a lot of things that are inside there, because usually the dressage horses, if they have done dressage for all their life, they are very well trained, so they know how to collect themselves to make maybe the slower gallop around you. They have a good build up line, so they can also do tricks a little bit better. It's always a little bit harder if you have some horses which were living on the field for many years, and then you take them in and you say, okay, now we're going to train Liberty training, because you think like Liberty training, okay, everything is free and just space, but still you need the muscles, you need the condition of the horse, it needs to fit, he needs to have a good bending, also to make the small circles. So there's a training behind the Liberty training. So I think, of course, it's gonna be easy to start if you have done all 5 dressage. So
yeah, like we have some foundations already that we can work with, and when doing the circles, like it's not too hard for him because he already has some muscle there.
Yeah.
Now, when I tell him to do a circle, he pins his ears at me and throws his head around and doesn't want to do it, basically. So we have to have this whole conversation about doing the circles. And once we get going, then he starts bucking on the out on the lunge line. You know, so he'll get a little crazy out on the lunge line. And so I tell him to stop because I don't want him doing that. And then we start again. And so basically I'm trying to teach him that he has to do what I say, and he has to do it in a calm manner, you know, so that he, you know, behaves, basically. So that kind of goes to what you were saying, that I need to be fair and consistent when I'm teaching him to go on in circles around me.
Yeah, exactly. What you could do, because if he starts shaking his head and starts barking, it's a lot of energy. I would when the horse starts, and also because it's maybe not used, like for the circle exercises, we are having the horse near to us, and they're not used near to us and move so much, and they like want to break a little bit out, and that's why they do that. But it can be either this one, or it can be that he just has too much energy. So what I would always do before I train circle exercise really next to me and near, and also gallop, I try to put the round pen, if you have a round pen, if not on a big lunge, and gallop him for a trot and gallop, and make him to get a little bit out of energy.
Okay.
Big lunge, so he can be a little bit, he can play and be a crazy horse. Not so nearby you, so it's more safe for you also, because when they start to talk, maybe he could kick you without really wanting.
Right.
That's why. So I would try to make like the first 10 minutes, put the horse out, make him trot nice, big circle, and make like transitions from trot to canter, then back to trot again, canter, back to trot again, canter.
Okay.
Same thing. And there he can also buck if you want. If you want, after some rounds, I think he should stop. If he goes too crazy, you have to stop him. Don't let him go too crazy. He can move himself a little bit away because he's more far, but he should run. You know?
Yeah.
They play like this, but sometimes they get like this. This is different looking, and then they really run, and it's more. And this one I don't like, because when they're lunge and they start running like this, then they've remembered it, because somehow they get into this panic mood. And then from then on, each time you will get a lunge, he will remember this feeling, and will start to do that without any reason.
Okay.
So if he gets this panic, don't let him do that. Like, stop him and let him trot again. Stop him and trot again. But if he's only shaking and just bucking a little bit, that's fine. Because
okay. So if it's a little bit of, playful running, that's fine. But if he gets into like bolting, running a lot in a fear-based kind of mood, then I should stop him and do a transition. Okay.
Stop, not make him, you don't have to go to him and calm him down. Just stop him, saying like no, and let him move, because he wants to move. He wants to, don't move crazy. Like, it's a little bit move, but don't go crazy. So that's the mindset behind.
Then the other thing that we're working on is the plie. And I've got him to step forward maybe 1 or 2 steps. And this is after I've ridden him, and so he's totally, warmed up and loose. But one thing that he's wanting to do is then he wants to step forward with his back legs to sort of get out of the stretch. And I tell him no and back him up and then try again. But I was curious if there's anything that you do to keep the horse staying still when you do the plie.
So for the plie, wait, I'm just thinking, because we did it with some like there are different methods you can use with different horses. So you can either take how was the name, Vera? Stange.
The poles, like a pole.
Pole, exactly.
Pole, yeah.
Take a pole and put him between just in front of the hind legs, so that when he steps front, it's like, there is something, and like goes back again.
So that's a good idea.
Not go in front.
Exactly. Okay, I'll try that.
You can try that, and if it's not working, this back up, it's very good. And restart, like, it's a little bit tiring in the beginning to back up the hind legs, like back up a little bit and restart, back up and restart. If you do a little bit faster after like 3 or 4 times trying, and you say like really like no, back up and front legs and no, then you will understand. If you do it, it's depending on how you're correcting him. If you're correcting him very smoothly and very calm, you might think, okay, it's the way I have to go. Like, it's the training. It is this one, as she's not correcting. It's like front legs. Okay, a little bit of the hind legs. Now I go a little bit backwards, and now I put again the front. But he's not checking that
exercise, yeah.
wrong, because you only a little bit back, and then you ask again. You put him a little bit back, and then you ask again. But understand that no, it was wrong what you did. You need to a little bit more with your energy, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to be really kind and sweet to him, and which he loves.
So I was thinking that you will just I think you're very good to calm him down and to be
very good at that. I'm very good at taking the energy down. You know.
Yeah, you should work a little bit on putting a little bit the energy up to make him understand it's wrong.
Okay.
Right.
That's like your spaghetti rock theory. I love that video. That is a really good video. And I need to be more of a rock, you know, when he's bad. Yeah.
Kenzie, when Kara is saying spaghetti rock theory, maybe you can shortly, for the other people who are listening and who haven't joined the seminar, explain what you mean with it or what it is, because I think this is something you can use with every horse in any situation, no matter if you're working liberty or lunging or cleaning your horse, whatever.
Yeah, the funny rock and
so
how to explain horse. So yes, when you are like spaghetti, you are completely movable. You know? You have down, you are soft, and if your horse moves around you and he pulls a little bit on a rope, you go with him. When he pushes you, you go a little bit back, and that's, you know, you move like this, and that's the spaghetti. That's the spaghetti. You can do that with a very very sensitive horse, which maybe afraid of you, very like suitable and movable and very soft and everything. It's fine. But if you have a little bit more dominant, a little bit testing you, you're just going backwards, coming too near, or when he pulls a little bit on the rope and you're just going with him, or when you're moving like this with a little bit more dominant, then he will know that he can move you and will not listen to you, and he will not be so respectful to you anymore, because he already knows that he can move you, and he's more strong than you. So to become a little bit more like rock, and I say spaghetti rock because it's like an image in your mind, and you directly see what I mean. The spaghetti is like this, and the rock is there. And it's up. And I tell people to be the rock with the theory that if you're lunging your horse and you are a rock and the horse is running around you, and if the horse comes too near to push you and you are the rock, you just imagine you running around a rock. If you go too near to the rock and you scratch your knees or your legs on the rock, it's gonna hurt. You do it one time, you do it, not do it again. You will be looking where the rock is and running the circles, but looking that you're not touching the rock. So then you are keeping the distance. And that's so logical. You don't have to be angry with the rock because the rock hasn't moved. He's just there. You are the one who get into it. So exactly the same with the horses. If you are the rock, you are the rock. And if he starts to touch you while you're lunging, while you are doing or while you're working, but also for all the other exercises, when you're working with your horse and you are rock, then the horse should know he should never touch you. And for me, it's a rule, because I work with Italians, and if they come into the routine to touch me all the time, they will start to push me, they will start to bite me, they will not take me serious anymore. So I need to be the rock all the time, and the rock is only like to be here, to know my space, and to make my space, to make the horse understand that they should not go into my space. And when I defend myself, like when I make this effect which the rocks make when you're running around, scratch, and it hurts, it's fast movement. Like it's like boom, away, boom, go away, boom, go away. Like, and only defending my space. No, with the elbows, if he's coming, you know, when the circles came, you're standing still, and the horse is circling around you. And there, it's the most easy example to explain, because you're standing there in the middle, and he's running you. And sometimes they get a little bit like pushing you with the hind quarter or pushing you shoulder. And then you can do it really nicely. Tuck, no, my space. And if he does too much, you make it a little bit bigger, like no. And you do fast and like fast and very quick movements. And you touch him. If he's touching you, you touch him. It's just logical. It's not bad. It's how it works in nature. You touch him, and you correct him in this moment, but only in this moment, not afterwards and angry after. You're fine. You're the rock standing there. So yeah, that's spaghetti tree. I hope you find it.
Really helpful.
Yeah. And always helpful when you have like a picture. When you have this picture in your mind, you can start to become a picture. And then it's easier for you to express this also.
Mm-hmm.
You have any other questions?
Oh, I can't think of any right now.
Yeah, but you'll have plenty of chances, and then we see everything in the Facebook group and also in the next live video. So whenever you can think of any more questions, Kara, then
You can
go
put-
for it. And we're watching the videos anyway. And I think also, Kenzie, we are hoping to see more videos in the English Facebook group as well, because we have in the German group people post many videos, and I think in the English Liberty group people basically just start, and so videos are always so great. I think it's the easiest way to you to explain and comment, Kenzie.
And people are more shy, I think.
Yeah,
A little
could
bit.
be.
It just needs to start now with new people, and we'll see if there are more videos coming. Because it's good. It's good for you to post the video, to see what we answers and what we give you, what we are explaining you with the video, what we see. And also for the other people, it's good to see, okay, she has maybe the same problem that I have. Okay, maybe should I do with another thing? And then people start, as more people video, more people will also start to put video, because they also want to get the answer for themselves. And so it's like, one has to start and the other one follow.
That's a great idea. I'm going to see if somebody at the barn can videotape me, and then I'll post it so everybody can see. It is really helpful to see when other people post videos of their horses.
Exactly.
Like the woman in Ecuador, and she posts her Arabian, and I always watch those videos and see what's going on with her, and it's really helpful. Yeah. Usually it tells me that I just need to keep up with everybody else.
but I think it's important that everybody can work in its own pace and everything. So there's no hurry, but filming is always good. And even if you don't have anybody at the barn to film you, in the German-speaking group, we have people have really great ideas, and many people just put their mobile somewhere, on the fence, or some tape it around a fence pole, and that really works great.
Okay.
Tape around and just record.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. Or rope my husband into coming up there and videotaping me.
Cool, great. So, Kara, if you don't have any more questions, maybe we would say thank you very much, and Kenzie, you can still explain a few technical things.
Yes. Thank you. It was very nice meeting you.
Yeah, very nice to meet you too. I'm very curious to see the videos.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye, Kara.
Bye.
Bye. Right. Kenzie, maybe because quite a few people, English people, asking maybe to as at the end of this call, can you maybe tell a bit about yourself, where you come from, when did you start working with horses, and how did it all begin, and how come you are so thinking like a horse?
Thinking like a horse. Well, okay, where should I start? I was raised in Spain and Andalusia. It's already horse country there, and on a big farm, big hacienda with around 80-90 horses in that time, and was actually cowboy. He was from Switzerland, but he was living for 10-15 years and was training horses there as a cowboy. He was a cowboy. When you look at him, he was a cowboy like he looked. And yeah, and we were there. A lot of horses, having clinics there, clients to take lessons. We breathed all of the horses. We had quarter horses, and my mother, she had the Spanish horses and also Arabian horses. She was from Egypt, but she liked more this Spanish dressage, you know. So my father did the Western riding. My mother did Spanish dressage. When I came into this world, I started also with Western riding. Then I liked more the Spanish dressage because it's it's very elegant. And but I was always fascinated by the liberty. When I saw people training in liberty in some horse fairs, some events, I always really liked this on the how you say, on the fence looking and crying when things are going so well, which how the girl from Ecuador, she said it looks like magic.
Yeah.
I felt the same thing, and I was always crying when I saw some things like this. And I came home from the events and from the shows which I saw, and I was 12 years old in the time, and I watched my horse, and I said, "Okay, you boy, we need to talk." Something different.
No. Yeah.
And then I tried to find the ways to make my horse understand what I wanted from him. And I saw some movements from liberty, that the horse needs to walk next to you, that the horse needs to come sideways towards you, that the horse does the compliment, that the horse, when you call him, comes to you, and that does the circling. And I started just to train. I started to see, okay, how I can make this horse understand that I want that he does it in freedom. And how can, if he's going away in freedom, how can I call him back? How can I make him to get routine? How make him to understand the movements? And I build it up in my head. I remember I was so many hours with that horse. I mean, but now I've done so many hours with one horse, but also I was the whole day with the horse, doing everything the whole time. And poor horse at the time also. I was 12 years, and I was I had a lot of energy. But this horse showed me my boundaries.
Okay.
And he showed me when it was too much. He showed me, he was always nice to me when I was logical and fair, and he was very mean when I was asking too much. So he really educated me, fair, and I always careful when I've done for a week like training too much and training too. I want this, and this. I came into the box and he was turning me the ass, and he's turning me the ass. I want to call him. I wanted to have him liberty with me, and then I was thinking by myself, hey, maybe I was making too much pressure. I was wanting too much at one time, and now he don't like me anymore. Shit, what I'm going to do? And I started to try things out to build the friendship. And then I started to feel how much you can do, how much you should do, and it's enough. And to make the horse happy. Well, with everything, with this, with all this, started everything, and then I went to Germany to do some shows with the horse, and I had another horse, a stallion, and with them I started also some movies, some cinema movies called Ostwind. I don't know if someone knows them. Ostwind are some cinema movies where you have characters Black Horse, and it's like Black Beauty actually, but it's all in liberty. So the girl is always liberty, the horse is always doing everything in liberty. The horse has different moods that you need to make your horse to do like really funny stuff, but everything by himself. Like he's a really character. So it was a crazy time to do all these movies and make the horse to do so many different. There I get a little bit more knowledge from, I think. Then also, of course, I was known because of my father. He was very known when he bring the first quarter horses to Europe.
Okay.
Into the quarter horse scene also. And yeah, but I made my name with the liberty afterwards, and no one of my family did liberty, and I started to do it, and were having good results with it. But the movie was perfect. Then I did a lot of shows in around Germany, Switzerland, and yeah, that's why I think I don't know what I should say more.
No, but I think this is that was really interesting because many people are asking, and so it's a great gift what you have, how you work with the horses, and I think the great thing is that you share your knowledge, and because many horse trainers tend not to give away all their knowledge. They always try to,
Yeah,
make a big secret out of it, but the way you do it, everybody can learn it, and the horses and the people benefit from it, which I think is
actually, it was also a thing where I was thinking about, because many people said to me, "You, Kenzie, you say always everything. You cannot say everything. You need to keep your secrets." And I said, "Yeah, well, of course, there's like, yeah, if you earn your living, like if you need to eat from your shows, if you only
yeah,
do shows and you have some secrets, I can totally understand that when you are doing a new show and you have some training methods and you don't want to show them because it's you doing this show and it's you earning this money for your living. I understand you don't want to give this the secrets, but I'm I didn't went into this thing too much. Like, I do some shows, but it's not like too many, and it's not like very special things. I do my Liberty thing, and now we have so many people doing Liberty and doing better, worser, differently, and I think it, there are so many people doing Liberty. So if I can help someone to do it more, it's gonna be fine. Like, for me, it's no problem. I'm and I think everyone knows already. We have so many different methods and so many different types, and everyone knows already everything. There's no so much secrets anymore.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and anyway, if there's a person who's talented, if you tell them everything, or if you keep some secrets, then he will do it. He will make it because he's very talented. And you have to have the feeling, and you have to have the talent. You have to have this. You have to, yeah, you have to have the feeling for a horse to get this connection and to make like really big things. And there you can say the secrets. You can not say. You cannot say it. This person will get somewhere.
yeah, yeah.
Keep it for you. And yeah. So for me, it's like I to learn it all by myself, because in the beginning I was very small and I was very young, and I was living in Spain. In Spain, there were not so many Liberty trainers. And of course, with the time, I was getting to different people. I can say I was like, I hear a little bit. Lorenzo give me some tips. Then it was there's an off Cavaluna trainer. They gave me also some tips. Then we had. I always try to get everywhere, see how different people work, and to build up my way. And the most logical way, I think, would work with the horse, knowing what I know and knowing and seeing what I saw from other people. And also something at the end, I think we need to. It's like such a nice way to work with horses.
Yeah.
If we can all make a little bit something to make the world a better place for horses, it's what Petrelli always says, and I just repeat it. We need to give our knowledge to the people to make the world a better place for horses, so that horses get more understand it. And I think it's important. And people are happy, horses are happier, so why not? There's no reason not to do it.
Great. Kenzie, thank you. This was, I think, a really, really nice live session. And I hope that people click on the link and get themselves some more information. You have a free online Liberty training. I think it's still available. And on the website, there's some more information. And I would finish with one question from Brigitte, because this is a question you've heard quite often. Kenzie, I want to train my mini shetty in Liberty, but she's very short. Can I do it? And if so, what to keep in mind?
In the German Liberty training, we had many people with little shetties, and of course, I mean, you can say when doing the Liberty training position, the horse is not here; he's there. But it's the same. It's the same in small, and you need to just. But you can use horse, and you can do the same thing. No worries about it.
Perfect, great. Kenzie, one last question. Do you have any other trainers that you really look up to or just like as a person?
I can tell a lot of trainers I really like. So of course I have let's see. Well, of what I said before, it was Lorenzo. He gave me some tips. Then and just let me check. Of course, Peparelli, he gave me also tips, and he was very nice to me in a time where yeah, well, I mean, my father and he was friends, and when my father died, he invited me to go to his place, and it was very nice. Then I have Pedro Torres from Dressage. It's a dressage and working equitation rider. He showed me a lot of dressage things and techniques, and he's for me an amazing horseman and horse rider. He's in Liberty, but working equitation and dressage. Then we have from the Western scene, I have Ute Holm. She's an amazing rider, and she showed me a lot of things about cutting. Also, cutting is something which goes a lot with the mind of the horse, and you have kind of like in Liberty, you have to train your horses to follow without reins. So it's also very cool. Ismael, he was training me, and I was training with him. Ismael Romero, he was in Spain, and he's a Spanish guy, and he showed me this Spanish high, what they call Alta Escuela. There, I get more into this Spanish dressage high school things. And then I'm currently working with a very, very good horseman and horse trainer, which is Lauriti Serve. It's a Frenchman, and he does like everything. He's standing on the horses. He does Liberty. He does the Spanish dressage. I think there's nothing which what he cannot do. And we are working a little bit together, and of course I'm learning from him also a lot, and he's a very nice horse person. People where I also like and I maybe didn't train with them, but I like is of course Alizé Froment, how she very much, but I never worked with her. Let's see if I have another one. There's the family, Julia, the Jonas family. They're more show people, and also Italian people. And of course, Bartolo Messina, he's Italian also, and he works in a very nice Liberty. But with this last three people, I didn't work together, but I really like them.
Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Kenzie, thank you very much for your time. It was great as always, and yeah.
Thank you, and I hope I could answer a lot of questions, and hopefully some of you will join and we see us in the course, and I can help you to get into the Liberty training with your horse. So be happy.
Thank you, and thanks, Kara, also. Have a nice evening. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.